Welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's get into it. I'm Kenyatta, the architect. On this channel, we build and destroy simultaneously, but there can be no resurrection without destruction. Um, Once again, I'm Kenyatta, but you will refer to me as Miss Kenyatta, ma'am, queen, goddess, high priestess, empress. Um, okay. I will not tolerate anyone being disrespectful with me or anyone else who genuinely supports me on this channel or anyone's bully bullshit. As well, have no enemies. The enemies of God have been defeated, are defeated. But if God is the creator of both the good and the evil, according to one book, then of course God has no enemies. All are used to his or her glory. As well, love and goodwill taken care of within eliminates that without. All right. Uh, got my using my old device tonight. I'm gonna make this quick because I may have to leave in a few minutes. So we're gonna make this quick. All right. I'm gonna do a reading tonight. Okay. Now I had a dream last night. Okay. A very interesting dream. All right. Um, Hold on. Anyway, it was a long dream, but I'm gonna skip part of it. But in the dream, my sibling was in the dream. Now, sometimes I'm not quite sure if it's dream infiltration or because of the coming into conscious awareness of my life not being what I thought it was. Okay, and these people who thought were family members not being that, you know, subconscious mind working out some of this shit. Okay. But anyway, so I don't think that that was a dream infiltration that I experienced, okay, with him. Possibly could have been. Sometimes people cloak themselves as a person, you know, with their dream infiltration and shit, okay? I don't think that was the case necessarily either. Could have been, not sure, okay? Right now, that's not like the point of it for me, you know, the specifics if it was or if it wasn't. The last few times that I have dreamed about him, okay, um, and again, I don't think each time I don't think it was dream infiltration. He has done that shit before, you know, with his mama and they weird ass family, okay. But I know y'all don't like me saying that we're the weird ass family, but you are, okay. And I really don't. At this point, I can't say that about those that I thought were aunts and uncles who transitioned before I found out all of this. Okay, because you know, I look back on things, at least what my I can recall, you know, in my memory, and they were good to me. You know, they were good to me. Um, but at the same time, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that's there that I'm not aware of because, you know, things come in bits and pieces. Okay. Sometimes, you know, God don't just throw it all on you at once. All right. And since I am a medium, sometimes I do call out to them and talk and ask questions. And they give me answers. Okay. But anyway, um, what was I saying about this dream? But even if I find that, you know, there's a scripture that says, confess your faults one to another, um, that ye may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. In other words, you know, that kind of like talk therapy. Okay, basically is what it's saying. You know, you can look at it like that, you know, getting it out. You know what I'm saying? Those things, you know, within us that we need healing from, getting it out, you know, through talking, through sharing, you know, with others. Okay, and you can't control, especially you can't control it at all, even if you're talking to just one person, but you damn sure can't control it on a medium like this. Those who are sincere and are maybe learning and growing from your situation that you are sharing with them, maybe they've been through some things like that as well, or motherfuckers like Puss or people like that who want to just take what you say, to try to use it against you as if they shit don't stink. In other words, or as if they have not been through anything. Their life has just been crisp and clean. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of here. That's so funny to me how people do that. They can, oh, they went through that. Ha 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 ha. Okay, and their mama did that to her. Your mother and daddy didn't do shit to you, huh? Although you're a fucking weirdo, stalker, gang stalking, narcissist, etc., etc. Okay. So uh, that's one thing I feel like is part of this whole kind of dynamic to try to make a person feel ashamed about the things that they have gone through and the things that were done to them. Okay. To keep you quiet. But I feel a lot of this is, to keep you, like I said, like people talking about you bad and negatively and that type of thing. It's sure to, hello, who's ever in here, sure to get a collective of people to join them in their little silly ass campaign, okay, bullying and all that kind of thing, but also to make you feel bad and low about yourself. If they can make you feel that about yourself, they can do all their spell work and everything and their black magic witchcraft and everything. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but that's part of it. you know well, to make others go against you, and then for you to constantly question, well, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel so strange? What did I do wrong? Etc., etc. Which are things that I have said to myself over the years. Like I was talking my last video about the coven, at the church, or whatever the fuck y'all had going on at that church. That was weird. To dismantle, the young people, so that you could get your little church hats and shoes and suits and them ugly ass sequin dresses and all of that kind of stuff, and getting the pulpit and all of that kind of stuff for these people's approval. Okay, fuck your kids, fuck the kids, and setting a and even pitting them against one another, where you choose a couple and put them on some kind of higher, some kind of great status above everyone else, above all the other young people there that are doing the same thing, who would like to get some acknowledgement as well. Not keep hearing the same goddamn names over and over again. What I'm saying right there on that note, that's not really something that I experienced because I wasn't there. I was going to church with my grandmother. Like I said, it's a good thing I got the fuck away when I did, as during those critical years. There were others who I kept in contact with, who I talked to, who would tell me that that's what they did. They always called on them two, okay, maybe three, damn sure two, but nobody else. Like nobody else didn't do shit. Like none of the other young people there did anything. That's very hurtful, and especially when you believe in the people around you. And I'm not saying people didn't have issues at home and didn't have issues with people at older people at the church and whatnot, but you're there. Like I said, it's like home number two. Where you are expecting to receive. You want those accolades, you want those pats on the back, and you don't get it. Well, I didn't realize it back then, and like, the black magic witchcraft, so that people will bully you, like what the lady who raised me did to me, so that I always felt like the odd person. I always felt ostracized. I always felt, like, well, what is it? What's wrong? What did I do? And looking at her and her never, ever, ever supporting me, never. you know, in that regard. Like, I could never go to her and say, Ma, I feel like they kind of bully me, kind of ostracize me. They're always kind of picking on me, this, that, and the other, making fun of me, talking about me. I knew within I could never go to her and say those things because she wasn't going to do shit. Hmm. You'll be all right. They talked about Jesus. That, if that. Because she got a kick out of watching me uh, being hurt. And I didn't realize that till I was much older. She got a kick out of that shit. Okay. And when I say much older, before I come to the knowledge of any of this, I looked at her one day and I said, she likes this shit. She likes to upset me. She likes to see me upset. She gets a kick out of it. But anyway, so sometimes, like, put on back to the dream, sometimes it's not about the person, but it's the energy, the spirit of the person. So I'm going to speak to that tonight. Okay? Though I don't think that that is what the sibling is doing. He very well might be, but I don't believe so at this point. Okay? But if you are, okay, we're going to speak to you and your energy. Now, this person here, I can tell you, I feel like I've always used to say he been mean to me ever since I met his ass. And it's so funny that I would say I met him because I was putting a little joke in there, thinking I was born into this family and into this collective here by this person who's his mother, thinking it was mine. But when I look back on it, I was like, you knew something? Because you literally, I mean, you do meet the person, but it was like you saying it like you're an outside person meeting him, and then, you know, here it is. That's what it was. And like I said to her, when I had come to discover what was going on, I was like, I want to know who put enmity between me and my sibling, my brother, because there's no reason here for he and I to be at odds with each other. There's no reason, none, you know. And of course, she just got quiet on the phone because, hello, whoever is in, because of course, I was waking. I can't remember what I was saying, But anyway, I asked her that. Of course, she was quiet because, I was coming into the knowledge of some things. There's no reason that me and him should be at odds with one another the way we are. There isn't, you know. But so at that point, me saying who put the enmity there, who put it there, okay? Because your family done showed me all the black magic witchcraft they do. So I feel like this is a part of what your family does. Okay. And I know shit about it. Okay. Um, thank God. Okay. Because other things have come to my awareness as far as they are concerned that I kind of touched on a little bit, but try to be careful about what I say, no, you don't, I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of embarrassing because it's disgusting. I mean, I'm embarrassed for them. Okay. But anyway, and things that at least one of them tried to, in her way, inform me this is what's happening. Okay, without outright saying it. And then I look back, when I became aware of it, I look back and was like, oh, she said something to me a couple times. She was trying to tell you, you know. But anyway, but nevertheless, he was always mean to me. Okay, always mean, always nasty. Okay, and I have shared some of this already, but we can just gonna focus just on this. Okay, when we were very, very young, I remember like when he would get sick, I would feed him applesauce, It's like I just wanted to see him well. And I would feed him applesauce. You want some applesauce? I was so small. And I would feed him some applesauce. And then he had some difficulties, concerning our father's absence. And I would try to console him, when I got older, because the lady who raised me, she would do it when we were younger, but sometimes she wasn't there when we got older because she was at work, so I would try to console him the best way that I could. I always had a heart for him, always did, always did. I remember um, he, the lady who raised me, she was a nurse, so she was a nurse at an inner city camp, and she made puppets, I think, yeah, hand puppets, and we really loved that, so he took it to school, and I remember sitting on the bus, and I remember he took it to school for show and tell. We were sitting on the bus on the way home, and I remember looking back at him, and his eyes were really red because he had been crying because they were making fun of him, saying he was playing with dolls, and it's like, they're not dolls, they're puppets. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know till later on, why he was looking like that. And I was like thinking, I wish I would have been in there. I would have told him those aren't dolls, they're puppets. You're stupid. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make him feel bad, And I always, a lot, I would look up to him. I remember one time, the school that we went to was kind of far. We were really small. The school was kind of far. And we got home, and we're talking about 70s, y'all. So the late 70s, the key to the house would be under the mat because the lady who raised me, his mom, would be, just coming, getting off work. And I guess one day she forgot to put the key there. So the key wasn't there, and he looked at me. He told me, he said, "Sit here in the corner and hide and stay down. I'm gonna go." He thought it was at the school. He thought he forgot it at the school. He said, "I'm gonna go get the key." So it was a long ass drive, Nothing for a kid in the what was he, probably like in the third or fourth grade, to walk. And she came and she saw me. She said, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "The key. He went to go get the key, because the key is not there. He went to go get the key from school, And she's like, "Come on." She jumped in the car, and saw him walking down the street. I think she said he made it kind of a good distance for a little kid, And this was East Cleveland, but this was the late '70s, so it's not the hellhole. It was not the hellhole that it is now. You don't even want to drive through there, okay? But but anyway, all right. Excuse me. So I'm only giving that little bit of background to say that I always had a heart for him. I always kind of admired him. I always kind of looked up to him. But somewhere in there, and I don't know when it happened. I don't know where it happened. But I'm not going to say I don't know why it happened. I'm sure this was her. You know, she didn't like me. She didn't want me. I don't know. You know, hey, far as I know, he's my dad. She's definitely not my mother. We're talking about biologically, so okay. But they was married, okay, and they was married, before my sibling was born, and he's older than me, okay. So anyway, I told you the woman, come to find out, that did bring me into the world was a white woman, okay. So uh, whatever. Okay, but here I am thrown. Like I said, I don't care what happened with y'all. That's y'all's issue. It's not mine. But since stuff has been put on me and piled on me, I'm gonna clear it the fuck off. Okay, with the help of my YouTube collective. Okay, um, but so somewhere in there, just I don't know. I can't tell you when it happened. I can't tell you how old it was. I mean, I was when it happened. Just somewhere in there, just like he was like, I felt like he hated me, like there was hatred there, and I don't even remember when I really noticed it. I can't tell you how old I was or anything, because when we were really small, I don't remember feeling any of that. But I think as you know, I got older, as we got a little older, and probably not much older, but a little. I told you how he tried to beat my ass in front of school, in front of all them. It's like all the kids. He was the type that would, when the kids made fun of me at that damn church, okay, he would never defend me. He would join them. And it's like you're supposed to be supposed to be my older brother. He's me, you know. So I'm not saying any of this like, woe is me. I done lived with a whole lot of shit. You know, all of that shit mustard done tried over there. That's none of that shit is new for me, honey. None of it. Okay. Thank God for it, actually. You know, cause see, whatever you was trying to achieve with that dumb shit, it's like whatever, bitch. And you over there with two, whatever, mother, anybody, and any goddamn body else, whatever, motherfuckers. I've been through this shit since damn near day one with motherfuckers. Next. Because see what it taught me was over the years was, you know, of course I did go through this like why don't they like me? What I do, this, that, and other. You know, I haven't done anything. You know, they don't even know me. And that's one thing that would really drive me crazy. It's like you don't even know a person. You've never had a conversation with them. But see, this was before I realized the black magic witchcraft or that and people setting up people the children to do these types of things and all of that. Okay, because see, in my mind, I don't understand that kind of thinking or that kind of logic. It's just like, why would you do that to someone? You know, and especially church folk who claim this, that, and other, and shout all over the goddamn church and roll all over the pews and all of that kind of stuff. Pray the Lord and crying and all of that type of shit. You know, fakery, fake. I mean, I just don't understand how you can be that goddamn, you know, fake. That's just not how I think. If I don't like something, if I don't believe in something, you know, I'll walk away from it, which I did because I went to seminary. And you go to seminary to be a pastor. You know, I didn't go to be a pastor because the church I was in, Kojic, they were not ordaining women. I just went because I was so into it and I loved the Lord so much. I felt called. I felt, you know, called. And I just wanted to work for the church full time, you know, and my pastor told me to go to seminary. And when he did, I felt, you know, an amazing peace, you know, come over me. And it was just like, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to do. That's what I felt at that time, you know, so that's why I went. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just don't, it's like, I don't get that shit. You understand what I'm saying? But see, I see these are the things that human beings do. It's like I used to date this guy, and he just had such um, a negative view of women, extremely negative view of women. And the things that he would say that women would do, I had never encountered that. Well, of course, he didn't believe me for the longest. And I was like, you know, I ain't never seen no women do shit like that. You know, women raised me, you know, and I never saw no shit like that. I was like, you need to come on over here with me, know the women that I know, you know. Well, I hadn't seen that type of thing. But he opened my eyes to some things, and I saw women are treacherous as fuck. Okay? And even though I could say I didn't see it with the women around me who raised me, and I'm not going to say all of them, but I damn sure the one who raised me in that house, who I thought was my mother, you know, and some of these other church folk. Oh, I see. Women are some treacherous motherfuckers. Can be treacherous. I thought it was just men, you know, because I had seen men leave. You know, I had seen men be mean. I had seen men be somewhat abusive, you know. So, you know, but of course, too, I came up in a time where it wasn't just said, at least where I was, where you a child, you can't be in the room when adults are speaking. And you better act like and if you are in the room, you better act like you don't hear nothing. And if you're in the room, that's because there ain't nowhere else for you to go. But they're gonna damn sure make sure there's somewhere else for your motherfucking ass to go. Okay, so a lot of things I didn't see, you know, and too, I'm just you know, I just live. I don't be looking for shit, you know. I'm that way now, and I've always been that way. Okay. Um, what they talk about? I mean, well, I can't say that fully. Yeah, of course, you know, you want to hear what they talk about. You know what I'm saying? But not looking for uh, controversy, negative things, that type of thing. Just living, you know, just living. If I hear it, I hear it. If I see it, I see it, you know. in general. I can say in general because I'm not gonna say there's never been a time where I haven't, you know, looked for something. That wouldn't be true. Okay. But anyway, um, so what was I saying? You know, yeah, so yeah, I do see. Yeah, they treacherous as hell. Maybe more so than men. I don't know. Maybe it ain't one more so than the other, but whatever. I was just blind to a lot of things. And it probably was. It could have been shit like right in my face, and I just didn't see it. Could have been a black magic witchcraft veil. It could have been a black magic witchcraft illusion, whatever. But probably tied to the black magic witchcraft that was being done on my ass. Okay. So anyway, again, I don't know when it happened, where when it started or anything like that. I just remember one time when he was married, his first marriage. I went to his home, and because I was a flight attendant, so my plane landed, in where he lived, and he had his book on astral projection. Well, I used to. The lady who raised me, like I said, she was the pastor's secretary, so she was always in one of the Christian bookstores, and I would go in and I would get. They had all of these books by all these Christian comic books. I can't remember the names of them or whatever. About the name of the guy who wrote those comic books. All the tracks. Is it? No, not. I'm thinking of that show. I can't remember, but I know somebody out there knows what I'm talking about. Okay. And I just would always just, get the books and just go in the corner and read. And she would let me get the comic books and stuff. So they would talk a lot about that. In that book, I know because I saw somebody posted on, not a reader, but I saw somebody posted on YouTube. You came and set the captives free. I can't remember the name of that lady who wrote that book. Okay, and I had that book probably when I was about maybe 12 or something. So she was talking about stuff like astral projection and, the monitoring spirits and all of this type of shit motherfuckers doing that. It was evil and stuff. Of course, it's stuff from a Christian perspective, okay? I think anything with any intent to hurt someone, harm someone, be a nosy motherfucker, especially to try to set them up and hurt and harm them, I think is wrong, So anyway, so that was just my mindset. As a matter of fact, those books would always talk about, Egypt and how it was evil and whatnot, and the Egyptian gods and goddesses in the pantheon and whatnot was evil, and that the Ankh, they always said that the Ankh was evil. So I have been reading them comic books since I was like 12 years old, right? So I go to college and I went to Howard, and I saw somebody wearing an Ankh, and I thought to myself, oh my God, I remember that in that book. They said that's evil. Then I saw another person, another person, another. I mean, after so many people, I said to myself, wait a minute. What is this really? Okay. What is this really? Because his book said it's evil. And then when I started doing research on my own, and I said, oh my goodness, I can't believe that they would say that. But anyway, from this, you know, Christian perspective and their, what do they call it? Not so much ideology, but their agenda ain't the word I'm looking for, but in other words. But again, I don't know when the kind of the hatred type of attitude toward me started. You know, I thought it might have been because my dad, it was very difficult. My sibling had a difficult. It was very challenging for him. My dad not being there, and my dad would always. My dad was just he would remember shit from like when we was like 1 years old, and here we are like 16. It's like, okay, hello, who's ever in? Hi. That's great to remember something, to remember it, but you just talk about it all the time, over and over and over again. Like we haven't grown up. That's what you remember. That's who you remember. Toddlers, your children as toddlers, but you don't really remember your children. You don't know your children. You know, even in our adult age, I think my sibling was like in his 40s or close to his 40s. I defended him against some shit my dad said. You know, something he was mad at him about, and I was like, the way he responded to him, because something about he didn't like the way he responded to him when he was trying to quote unquote talk to him shit. And I was like, he damn near 50. It's too late for that shit. It's too late for that. You can't expect him to sit there like he's a 10-year-old kid, 15-year-old kid, and be open to what you have to say. What the fuck are you talking about? You know. And then he get mad because he don't want to accept, have, hold himself accountable. But anyway, honey, yeah, see, they talk about me like a dog. I don't care. You know, I've dealt with so much being talked about like a dog, being bullied, laughed at, persecuted, prosecuted, all type of shit from motherfuckers who've never had a real conversation with me. But most of them from the black magic witchcraft or just loving to hate a bitch, and it's like, whatever. So it's kind of like I'm thankful for the shit because, like, I learned, like, it came to me years ago, long before there was a fucking YouTube. Do you know you? Absolutely. Do you know what you've done? Absolutely. So fuck what a motherfucker gotta say. Okay. You can absolutely defend yourself. I just didn't know where it was coming from. And like I said, when I did the video in New York, the blackout video in New York, like, I feel like all of this, she's the foundation for all of this. All of this shit is stemming from you. You know, and it's probably some PTBs in the background, probably. Given the places you've been, the people you've known and whatnot, probably. Okay, even if you hadn't, probably some PTBs in the background as well. Okay, know what you want me to do. Okay, because I learned a long time ago, I'm not going to stop living and being myself because of shit people want to spew up out of their fucking mouth, especially cheap motherfuckers. And cheap, when I say cheap, I don't mean by the clothes that they wear. I mean cheap. That's a cheap motherfucker who have never even had a conversation with you. And even for those who have, I don't give a fuck. I know who I am, what I've done, where I've been, what, etc., etc. I live with me. Okay. And a damn motherfucker even think about paying the bill, then maybe we could have a conversation about it. But I doubt it. Just pay the bill, motherfucker. Okay. And get the fuck out of my face. Okay. Because that's cheap and low down. Okay. It's got to be some play, even if it's the black magic witchcraft people do, to make people treat you like that. It's still got to be something in your humanity that can make you override that black magic witchcraft. Got to be. Because there's too many people on this motherfucker, besides myself, who done had all kind of black magic shit thrown at them all day and all night, who's able to rise above and say, oh, no, Especially when you become aware of it. And aware that of what this person and people have been doing to you. But back to this. So I don't know where it began. I don't know or anything like that. I just know it began. Now the dreams. It's always him coming at me with this attitude of this, like I'm supposed to be intimidated and scared. Because that is what he was trying to play out in real time. Why, I don't know. These men who want women to be scared of them, is like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, you are that afraid of women, or you hate women that much, or you want to be a woman, or what is something in the psyche is off. Because you know that you are physically built. You could be a very thin man and still be the big bitch ass, because you're the way you're made and built. It is to fight and to build and to blah blah blah. So you're kind of stronger. Although it is some women out there who kick a nigga ass, it don't make a difference. Okay. But anyway, and it's like, so I just want to speak to that tonight. I really don't think he is doing it, but just in case, I'm going to speak to the spirit of it tonight, that spirit that is in him. Motherfucker, please. You too, you need a fucking exorcism. That's something, the woman put something in you, got you hating yourself, Okay, you got issues with your father, and you putting that off on me. That's what I was saying. So me and him, with my father, me and him are very different in our how we express ourselves. He was more kind of conservative and quiet, whereas I was just always you know. And he still talk about, probably to this day, wherever he is, my dad talking about some, when they was 1 year old on his first birthday, we put the cake in front of him, and how he responded. When I was 1 year old, when they put the cake in front of me, how I responded. Well, he was calm and cool and collected, because that's him. And when they put it in front of me, I jumped, dove in, you know. But I would watch him, my dad, say this, and he was tell this story all the time, and then I would watch him say it. And then I remember one time looking over at my sibling, and he looked like he was hurt, and I'm like looking at my dad, like, you're saying this as if you liked the way I, at one, okay, the way I responded. And I can see on his face that is how he's feeling, almost like maybe he thinks that he likes me better than him. And then too, we really don't know with this woman. Okay, I call her the false mama, the FM, for me, not for him. We don't know what she was saying to him. Don't know what prayers she was praying over him. What magic witchcraft things she was saying to him. Because, see, like, I remember, now, I don't know, but I remember, my dad would come when he would come. My dad was like, I'm picking him up at Saturday now. We sitting at the door at 9 in the morning, almost sometimes to 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And then he'd come for a couple of hours, and sometimes he didn't come at all. Okay. This is when we were very young. But see, these things, that parents do and adults do, they have an effect on children. Now, for me, my dad had done something when we were real small. And when I was older, we were talking about it, and he apologized. He said, I'm sorry I did that. I said, well, what were you doing that day? He was like, nothing. He was like, there was no reason that I couldn't come see you all. And he said that his mom, which was my grandmother, really, fussed at him about it. But see, I don't know his relationship with him, I don't know what it was. That was my relationship with my dad. Because I'm going to talk about shit. I'm not going to sit up there and pretend like everything's all peachy keen and hunky-dory and there's no problems. And, I got the greatest dad in the world, and I'm the greatest child in the world. We're just happy. And it's issues that need to be worked out, talked about, dealt with. I ask questions, so hopefully, they have been able to have a real conversation at some point in time. I have not talked to either one of them. Okay. I did text my dad a couple times when I was in New York. No, he didn't respond. I wasn't expecting him to. I wasn't looking for him to. There was something that I did for myself. As far as the sibling is concerned, hell no, because that nigga went too far with some of that black magic witchcraft. See, people didn't realize. I see what the fuck you're doing. I'm not guessing. Okay, I'm not guessing at what's being done and who's doing it. It's not a fucking guess. I see you. Even when it wasn't dream time, and I'm laying there, and I'm like, okay. Fuck are you all doing? Trying to choke me and cover my mouth and suffocate me and all type of shit through your astral shit. I see you. I see your fucking face. Okay, shit you didn't expect that that I could do. I see you. I hear the conversations. Not all the time, but I see. And the whole game with the damn house. It's ridiculous. And I was just, that I was hurt by, because it's like, we grew up in this house. Not because of what was done to me. It's like, You just treated this house was just a money bag for you. You give a fuck about this house. Give a fuck about growing up in this house. I used to love to go over my grandparents' house, especially when my dad's brothers was there. My uncles were there, and my cousins, and all of that kind of stuff. I'm talking about my dad's side, and my grandfather was living. House would be full. I loved it. I loved it. And then when everybody was gone and it was just my grandmother, I used to go over there and sit with her all the time. You know, so I just felt like, wow, this it didn't mean shit to you. And I feel a house should. A house can become a home, and it should. But nevertheless, that spirit, honey, uh, you can stop that shit. Now, in the dream, there was a huge safe type of a thing that I had. It was brown, and it closed with the old latch and a lock on it. And I had it in my possession, but I was giving it back to him. This second dream I had with us moving back into that damn house. Not my grandparents' house. This is the very first house that it wasn't the very first house we lived in. We moved there when I was like a baby, an infant. Okay, in East Cleveland, that house. So it's like we were moving back into that. Him and me. Same dream I had with him and me. Why are we moving? I don't know what the dream is saying. I know some good dream people who interpret dreams out there. Remember when I was doing that, for those of you who have been following, when I was doing the videos with just my hands, and I was trying to interpret the dreams with my tarot reading, because I don't do well at dream interpretation. That I have had some people do. Just I listen to them do dream interpretation. It's like, wow, you can tell them just a little bit, and they can just pick up on all the symbolism and everything. I think that's an awesome gift, but it's not currently. It's not one that I have. And I may never. And I might have it and just don't know. It just hasn't been unlocked yet. But I just felt like with that safe, it's like I felt like, you know, you're giving him back the burdens. This is your stuff, your issues, and it was heavy. It took two men to carry it, him and another man that was in the dream. And it's like when they were trying to. It was in the car. You know how dreams go, and they were. Taking it out of the car, and they tried to pass me, and I'm like, stop, and they were like, well, what? I was like, let me out. You can't get this thing out of the car with me in here. And I'm like, he's hitting me in my titties and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And so they let me out. But I felt like that was all I could get out of that. You're giving him these burdens, these issues, this heaviness, this shit. See, I'm clearing this shit up off of me, and I don't give a fuck what kind of black magic witchcraft. None of y'all do. You're not putting that shit back on me. See, some of y'all who joined the brigade, I'm not talking about people like on YouTube, like Puss or Marbles and Monsters. Who gives a fuck about them? I'm talking about these quote unquote people I've been knowing all my life. These quote unquote families. You don't know how I felt. You don't know what I dealt with. You don't know the internal workings of me. What was on my mind and in my mind. I don't give a fuck how many conversations I had with you. There are things that I didn't tell you, but even if I did, no one can know in fullness exactly how it is you feel. You may feel, you may have the similar feeling or feel sadness. If a person feels sadness, you can feel sadness too. But you are your own individual self. I'm my own individual self. And my individual self processes it a certain way, feels it a certain way, etc. Just like you do. But you don't know my life. None of you do. I would say the closest would be him and her. But the reality is they didn't. Some things like I said when I was coming up, you couldn't say certain things. You just didn't. And I'm sure I'm not the only person. Some things it's just like you observe, you see, you feel, but I think every human being, some things we just keep to ourselves, But I could tell you one thing, that kind of work she did on me to make me feel bad about myself, to make me feel like something was wrong with me, to make me feel undervalued, unloved, it wasn't so much I felt unloved. Well, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I thought she loved me. I thought she loved me. But I mean, outside of her. It got to the point where at times I felt like, you know, what I'm going to do when she gone. You know, it's like, what? You know, of course, you know, you feel like that about your mother to an extent, but I felt like I had no one but her. Well, after looking at everything, yeah, that's exactly what she wanted. That's exactly what she, and that's exactly what she worked toward, to put you in that type of situation. You know, even like the one girl, the wise, when she met her, she said to me, she said, your mother is nasty. And you know, when she said it, I was just like, I didn't even get mad at her. You know, and part of me felt like maybe I should be getting mad at her. She's talking about my mother. You know, it's like, but she's not telling the, she's telling the truth. She is. And you know, I would introduce her to people that were people that I was talking. You may not have liked her, but I like the person I'm hanging out with them enough. It ain't nothing. I don't need you to co-sign. But I realized when the one her niece, who I thought was a cousin, when she said, you know, she seemed like she don't like me. It's like, oh, I said, you don't want nobody around me. You don't want me to have anyone. You don't want me, like I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You don't want me to have a relationship. You don't want me to have love of man. You don't want me to have money. You don't want me to have anything, friends. You don't want me to have anything. And I was feeling like that for quite a few years. You know, you don't want me to have my siblings' love. You don't want him to love me. God only knows what you said to my dad, because my dad would say certain things to me about you was this and you was that and you was this. And I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck would you know what I was? You weren't there. You were never there. Now I look back and I'm like, cuz she was probably telling him these things. She's this and she's that. She's this and she's that. When all I did was what the fuck she said do. Okay. Because I had too much fear of her, you know, my mama gonna whoop my ass. She gonna whoop me. I better do what she said. I was just that kind of kid. You know, I ain't saying I didn't never get in trouble or nothing like that. You know, my getting in trouble was being silly at school, maybe talking back to the teacher, some shit like that. Okay, it's like, but you know, if I that threw me off. If even if I would get upset with her and talk back to her, I would find myself, "Oh, I'm sorry, mommy," you know, apologizing to her. But I don't really have to, you know, try to uh say, you know, I was this and I was that. Let me see, you know. But I'm going to, and I guess more so for myself, you know, not to prove anything to anyone. Shit. You know, because people are going to feel what they want to feel anyway. You know, whatever. Okay. Um, but anyway, once again, you know, I, so I feel like that's maybe what that represented. Those are your issues and your burdens and your problems that you have projected onto me when I was nothing but good to your motherfucking ass. Okay. And guess what? You can have your shit back. So the spirit of that person, or whatever you are, if it's being projected from, you know, his mama, you know, I guess she's still around or whatever, you know, or maybe one of his cousin, and since that's what they do, you know, or whatever, and on his mom's side of the family or whatever, you can forget it. I'm not scared. I'm not intimidated by that energy. And like I in the dream, you can have all your shit back, because I am not carrying that in my life. Okay. that mean, evil, nasty, hateful spirit that you have. Like I said, his mama's black magic witchcraft scrambling his brains, and uh and maybe one of them family members. Because I'm gonna say this, and I told this woman that my brother, he was going through something, with a spouse. And this diseased lady couldn't saw her motherfucking ass waiting for the bus. So we picked her up, me and the lady who raised me. He wasn't there. And she asked me, how's he doing, him and his, because he was going through some very challenging situation. And I just saw the whole evil. I mean, she was rejoicing in him having these challenges. How he doing? How they doing? I looked at that bitch and I said, he's doing just fine. It went from, oh, he is. Yeah, he is. Just sick ass. Okay. And I didn't say anything because lady, she was raising, she's driving, so she didn't see the shit. And I never said anything to him. And I just never said anything. But I eventually did say something because this woman who raised me kept putting her name on all her, end of life paperwork. And I asked her, why do you keep putting her name on all the shit when you have me and him? Our names was on there too. But we ain't enough. Me and him ain't enough. And see, when she was up to something, she'd get, well, it's okay. No, it's not. I don't trust her. She's not trustworthy. See, this before I knew all this shit. And I kept asking, and I kept asking, and I kept asking. So finally I said, let me tell you about her. How she really feels. How evil she is. Oh, probably thinking, yeah, you don't know I'm that evil too. You understand what I'm saying? And disease lady have done more black magic than the law on me, than the law should allow, with her dream infiltrate. And she's done some nasty, vile shit to me. And bitch, don't let me say what you did. Because I will. And that's the bleeder mama. And I told the bleeder about her. Because everybody was telling the bleeder, you need to run from her. The tarot reader, one of the best in the city. You run fast as you can. But how do you say that to somebody about their damn mama? You know what I'm saying? But I realized, see, you didn't know you had some money sitting somewhere. Okay. You didn't know you had some money. There ain't no need to, where'd you get that from? The man told me. She done spent most of it. Goddamn, it ain't that much left. Okay? So, I'm like, well, I see. I see why she have done so much work on my ass with her. I don't know. I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised, allegedly, goddamn, if that bleeder or somebody done Try some identity theft. That came to me a long time ago. It's like that bitch done tried to act like she was you. Some kind of something legal. Something, bitches. Something. Before Puss came into the picture. That's why. See, it's interesting when people and families just be dying left and fucking right. Just walked in the house and they was dead. We got their house now. How'd they die? Oh no. They just did. But the house is ours. The house is ours now. And you keep the house nasty than the motherfucker. With the cat and dog feces all over the motherfucking cat piss and dog piss that ain't nobody cleaned up in days, and then want to invite people over to eat. Everybody that died left us their house though. We got their house. And then destroy it. Okay. So like I said, I couldn't figure that shit out. Why does she keep putting her name on? What the fuck is this shit? What I don't know, that motherfucker, the sibling, that motherfucker, no, and I was trusting him at the time. I just do what he say, because that's where my mind was. I always was, what he say, what he say, what he say, what he say, looking up to his ass. You understand? Both of them. Okay, what he say, what she say, what he say, what she say, I go with it. Okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? Except when they left my grandparents' house, both of them, I was like, I don't like this shit. But other than that, I was like, something happened to you. He know what to do. Why you keep putting that woman's name on all your shit? She's evil as fuck. She's got a hateful fucking spirit. Now I'm gonna leave that shit right there. But bitch, if I see your motherfucking ass in another goddamn dream, it's a whole lot more to motherfucking tell. I will sure tell your family and the world what happened to me at your hands in my dream. It's disgusting and embarrassing, but I'll sure tell it. And I said, oh, I see. She was going to give whatever was left over from the little pot that was left for me to her motherfucking ass. And I said that before my first channel. Well, it was one of the last videos I made. It might have been the very last video I made on that channel. So they could go hoe it up and smoke it and drink it up all over the streets of dirty ass Cleveland fucking Ohio. That's why. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows what your money was tied into her shit or whatever. I said, that's why that bitch can't leave you alone. That's why her daughter couldn't leave your motherfucking ass alone. And that's why that bitch can't leave you the fuck alone. She stopped for a second, but brought her ass right back. Goddamn. Greedy. Desperate. And always sick with a disease doctors can't fucking identify, goddamn. Or some shit you ain't never. Own daughter said, "Ugh." That's why all that black magic, witch, and that evil, hateful spirit and heart, folks just dying left and right. From years, eons ago, before I was even born. Just keep dying, 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 dying. How did that happen? What is that? No. Nobody don't know. But how come it didn't work on your ass, bitch? Anyway, we're gonna do reading real quick from the Rider Waite. I don't know what this reading will be about, but so if that's not him, and I don't think it is, and you throwing his shit, I done gave him his shit back, his burdens of hatred. Now maybe y'all can go toe to toe with each other, since you got a hateful ass heart and mind and spirit, and take joy and pleasure in other people's pain, like your own. Like you take joy and pleasure in theirs, your own, that you brought into this world. Leave me the fuck alone, honey. Now, if one of y'all is playing in his energy, see, I don't know nothing about none of that shit and how that shit works. But if one of y'all is playing in his energy and doing that to him, you wrong than a mother. If I'm look at me still defending his motherfucking ass because I think he's a little on the weak side. Okay, you wrong than a motherfucker. Okay. And y'all can have y'all witch wars with one another. Okay. You need to leave his motherfucking ass alone. You motherfuckers who like to cloak yourself in other people's energy and that's other people. That's just so wrong. First of all, you fucking coward. Second of all, why you gonna drag somebody else in it like that? They don't know they somewhere asleep, don't know what the fuck going on. That they being used. Their energy is being used and their likeness is being used. Maybe he's scared. No. And he will tell you that she ain't scared of me. He would know me more than any of you motherfuckers. But he don't. But he's been seeing me since I got here, goddamn. And he will tell you quickly, she's not scared of me. I try to make her be, but she's not. I'm like, that just don't seem like, that don't feel like him. It do, but it don't. He came at me a certain way, but it wasn't quite like that. Leave his motherfucking ass alone. See, because y'all already done turned on each other. I'm sure you never liked each other in the first fucking place, okay? But I'm sure he wouldn't mind turning on your motherfucking ass. See, well. All right, let's get into it. One more shuffle. Leave him be. He may unleash something on your ass you ain't expecting, goddamn. Okay, is that right? Judgment card, upright. Knight of Wands, upright. People got shit that's deep within that they ain't healed and dealt with. They gonna unleash that shit. Gonna be unleashed at some point. Five of Cups, upright. Okay, the Fool card, upright. Okay, Ten of Pentacles, upright. Okay, Judgment. Okay, goddamn judgment is being called. Okay, on a Knight of Wands. I feel like. All right. Okay, this person is in some kind of regret. Okay, confirmation. Okay, this person is in some kind of regret for some goddamn foolish actions that they took. All right, Let's just keep on going, quick to the point, okay? The Emperor in reverse. Okay. Eight of Swords upright. Okay. The Death card upright. Okay. Two of Swords upright. Okay. Judgment being called here on Knight of Wands. Okay. Over some shit. All right. Um, Motherfucker here is living in some kind of regret for foolish actions that they took. Okay. I feel like it has something to do with this person's home, okay? And with this emperor in reverse, okay, maybe the lack of a father in this person's life, the way it needed to be, had him all trapped up in their mind, okay? Feeling imprisoned, all right? But maybe looking for some kind to transform and change some things, okay, within themselves, okay, or in their life or whatever, okay. Maybe they're sitting in a place of indecision or not sure where to go or what to do, okay. But let's keep on going. We have the King of Wands in reverse, okay. The Sun card upright. Two of Cups upright. Okay. Like I said, maybe they're in some kind of indecision, okay, not sure exactly which way to go. All right. But I do feel like this person here may be changing their ways, okay, or looking to change their ways from being such, maybe kind of harsh, okay. I feel like this person might have been, what's the word, maybe somewhat tyrannical, okay. Maybe no longer wants to be that way, or maybe they see that that's how they were. Maybe their eyes are opening up to see that they were a tyrannical motherfucker. Okay, but that shit was not working. Okay, and they don't want to be that way anymore. Ace of Pentacles, okay, in reverse. Here we have Seven of Cups upright, right, and we have the Three of Pentacles upright. All right, I feel like this person here, they want brighter days, they want happier days, okay. I feel like this person has lost some money. They might be looking for some kind of friendship. They're looking for options. Once again, indecision, not sure which way to go, or what to do, but damn sure looking, for something different. I feel I need a new life. Okay, I need to change my ways. Okay, my heart is heavy. I am hearing. Okay, heart of heart, heart of mind. Okay, spirit. Okay, soul, body, life. I have to change. Who I am, how I treat the world, how I see the world, how I treat others. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, at the bottom of the deck. I feel like this person, may have, they may be having some financial issues. Okay, I'm hearing a lot. Okay, but I'm hearing like this person is willing, okay, to start small and do the work that is necessary, okay, for them to do, all right, in order to make this change, okay. With the Five of Wands here at the bottom of the deck as well, there might have been some kind of fighting going on. Like I said, you motherfuckers that ain't getting along no goddamn with your evil motherfuckers. And look at you, Ten of Swords, okay, in reverse, probably betraying his motherfucking ass, okay, cloaking yourselves as him, and it's not him. All right. Um, all right. Let me see. A Page of Wands in reverse. I'm not sure. Okay. Um, I'm just hearing this person is not doing well at all. Living a life freedom. I'm hearing of responsibilities. Acting like everything's a okay, but knowing they need to make a change deep within. Okay. Confirmation. Okay, but knowing they need to make a change deep within. Okay, this person is determined to win at all costs here. Okay, because they're just having some very difficult, very challenging times right now. Okay, and I'm hearing, and there's nobody there to support them. And like I said, looking for a friend, in need of a friend. All right. See, they thought they had gotten away with some shit. Okay, stealing, lying, and manipulating. Okay, but here they didn't. Okay, was celebrating with the wrong motherfuckers, thinking that they was doing something. Okay, stealing and lying. Okay, from others and trying to hold on to that shit, but they lost it as we saw earlier. Okay, um, you know, Page of Swords upright. okay? Maybe they need to confess something. They have something to say and confess. I feel like if they do, here we have, okay, they will find what it is that they need, what it is that they're looking for. I gotta go. I'm up off of here, okay? There you have it. All right. Thank you to those who have subscribed to my channel. Thank you to those who have subscribed to my Patreon. All right. You all have favor. Leave his ass alone and stay from cloaking his motherfucking energy. Not because he right, because of what he's done, but you have no right to do that to someone. All right. Have favor. Peace.